welcome to another interview here on Tuffy Talk. We have a great guest for you. We have 2024 commit Jayden Scott, a running back. He's 5'10", 210 pounds from Stockbridge, Georgia, which I believe is in the Atlanta metro area. Is that correct, Jayden?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool, man. Welcome to the show. We were happy to have you.
Happy to be here.
That's great. So we'll just jump in and, like I said, we'll have a conversation and have a little fun with this. But you just recently committed to state. I think it was back on the 19th, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. You had a ton of offers. I mean, I think I went through the list. I lost count, but I definitely picked at least 2 schools from every Power 5 conference. So just kind of talk about that. That would seem pretty overwhelming to me. But how did you just kind of take that all in and then just walk me through the process a little bit?
Well, like you said, it was a little overwhelming at first, like just a whole bunch of schools coming at you, not really knowing who's who and what's going on. So it was really just stepping back and learning what the school brings for me. So that came down to like my major, like what I wanted to do in my academic field. So that helped me narrow down the list a decent bit. And after that, I kind of looked at which school fits me, like my personality the most, and kind of also stepped back and seeing which school on top of academics and personality had the best chance for me to develop as a player and compete.
Yeah, so your top 7, and I'll just run through this in no particular order. You had South Carolina, Rutgers, Northwestern, Duke, Wake Forest, Louisville, and State. So again, all Power 5 conference teams. Just kind of talk to me. When did kind of NC State come on your radar? I know Coach Goebel was your lead recruiter. Just kind of walk us through the timeline a little bit about all of that, because if memory serves me, I think you kind of got an offer in early January, around the 18th, I think, if I remember your Twitter post, and then you took a visit, I think, in February. Is that correct? Also, unofficial.
I took the unofficial like 3 or 4 days right after I got offered. I was going up that weekend to go to Wake, and I was like, I gotta go see it. So
okay.
I think the timeline was like the 21st to the 24th, like 21st offered, 24th I was up there, or something roughly in that area. Okay.
So then obviously a ton more offers came in. At what point, before you announced just a couple weeks ago, like you were locked in on state, like that was your primary?
It was after the second visit. I was like, this is probably the place for me. I loved the facilities. I loved the people there. I loved everything about it. So I was like, this is the place. This is where I want to be at. So I took time to talk to my parents, and they agreed. And I was like, this is where we're going.
That's awesome. So you just mentioned your parents. I assume that was both of them, and then you had some other folks at your announcement. Just walk me through who all was there that day for your special announcement.
So, of course, my internal family, my 2 brothers, and my mother and my father. Then I had my aunt. My aunt's played a big role, and my grandmother. So those were the family members there. And then I had a couple coaches, like a 7-on-7 coach, some youth ball coaches. So those were the main people there.
Yeah, so a lot of special folks for you to share that moment. I know that's a moment that you'll never forget. But I've looked through a ton of stuff of yours, and I came across an interview you did last, I think it was like June, and I think it was a Rivals interview that you did. You were 2-time camp MVP. Just kind of talk us through that. Just what that means to you to be recognized, and then just kind of that probably. Yeah, well, not probably. I'm sure it elevated your name with the coaches around the country.
It felt great. I feel like I put in a lot of hard work, and, I went against a lot of good guys with competition, both offensively and defensively. So just to get that honor amongst those guys, it was a great feeling.
So that MVP, it's for the whole camp. It's not just at your position group, correct? You were like the dude at the camp.
I think it was position. It was position by position. Okay. So
still though, yeah. I mean, that's still a pretty awesome thing. And then to do it, twice. I don't know if it was back to back, but that's pretty special. I would think.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we just kind of talked a little bit about NC State, and one of the things that struck me when I was looking at that one interview, it said you were into computers. So I'm an IT guy. I work for IT. I do IT in the government. And you like to build computers, and I thought that was pretty cool, man. Because honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to do until I joined the military after high school. So I assume maybe computers might be something to do with your major, because you mentioned a little bit about your academics earlier.
Yes, sir. So my major, I want to be a computer science guy, computer engineering. That's really more for where I want to go towards, more towards programming, because I think I have a decent base knowledge of like the hardware aspect of it all.
Yeah.
So I got into that COVID year. It was just a group of friends, and we kind of all decided like it was really for gaming, due to the fact that we kind of want to elevate our game a little bit.
Sure.
And we ended up just deciding to build all of our computers that summer. So.
And at that time, did you have any knowledge about building computers? You just kind of maybe watch some YouTube videos, or like how did that kind of, because that's just not something you wake up and go, you know what, I'm gonna build a computer today.
So we did watch a few videos. Like we had to get the basis of it. Like just knowing, is honestly what my friend said. It's like adult Legos. Like once you get the hang of it. So
that's a good analogy. I like that. Yeah,
it was pretty fun.
I mean, a part's a part, right? You can just interchange them. You just, depending on, what kind of spec you want on this. How you want bare bones. You want the top end. It's there's 7 or 8 major components to a computer, and then the rest is just, like you said, plug and play, and just
plug and play.
And then you can, like you said, you can. It's so funny, the Lego analogy. You can move them in and out as you want to update pieces. So that's pretty cool. So just kind of getting back, I was looking at a lot of your film. The one thing I didn't notice in your film, and I was just kind of curious, you didn't have a lot of tape on like pass catching out of the backfield. You only really had like one highlight on there. Is that something that you're pretty strong at, or is that just something that maybe your school that you're at right now just doesn't have a focus on for the running back catching balls out of the backfield? Just you walk me through that a little bit.
I would say I'm pretty strong on pass catching. Like you said, there's not a lot of film on it, like in pads, just due to the fact that, like you said, scheming wise, we didn't really have the need to. Like we were very strong on the ground. I think we had like 3,000 rushing yards total as a team. So running out the, like, I guess pass catching out the backfield wasn't necessarily a big thing, as our run set up a lot of the deeper pass shots. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of based off a scheme why we didn't really run or pass out the backfield too much.
Gotcha. And then I guess you can kind of say the same for your pass blocking. It's kind of the same thing.
Similar. I do have pass blocking clips. I didn't add it to the highlight. I probably should, but
yeah. Now, would you say that you have if you had to choose one of the two, not to say that you're weak in either, but which one would you say that you would need to get stronger in?
I would say I would need to get stronger at pass blocking, just due to the fact that, there's guys, you got to just look at pursuit angles and all that good stuff and know how to like grab them without getting a flag or nothing like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's really the main thing.
Gotcha. And then another just kind of technical question. I saw on your film, you had a lot of running between tackles, running outside of the tackles. Do you have a preference? And then do you have is one stronger than the other for you?
I would definitely say my ability to run in between the tackles is my strongest. A lot of the runs that were supposed to go outside on the film that went inside were designed to go outside. So it's more, I feel like I do have a preference, which is inside, just because I get vertical faster. So inside run would be my preference.
Absolutely. As a running back, it's always important to get north-south as fast as you can, right? Because you get lateral, those linebackers and that pursuit's going to get you probably 9 times out of 10 before you can bust it up. But
before we continue, I want to take a quick second to tell you about our sponsor, Flatlands Jessup Insurance Group, that has your whole world covered, with agents in 5 offices throughout eastern North Carolina to help you decide how much coverage you need, offering policies for home and auto, recreational vehicles, commercial, crop, health, life, and employee benefits. They are able to combine options to find a comprehensive solution that works for you. Flatlands Jessup protects the things you love so you can spend less time worrying and more time enjoying them. Find them on Facebook and Instagram at Flatlands Jessup. You can also visit their webpage at www.flatlandsjessup.com. So please make sure to go and check them out.
for that, like your scheme on offense, it looked like it was kind of hard to tell because it's obviously limited. Is your current offense is it an RPO type offense or is it more pro style?
I would say RPO.
Yeah.
We didn't really have many, but we're definitely moving more towards RPO on top of that. And a lot of the plays that we had, there was routes designed behind it, but we just didn't hit those. And I mean,
Gotcha.
most of the time they popped for a bigger run.
Absolutely. Now, I don't. This might be just something that I made up that I thought I read somewhere. I read way too much information on people, and then our friend Macon, who's on the show, he's really big into recruiting, and he's gotten me into recruiting. So now I'm sucked into following all the great people out there. But did I see that you scored a touchdown once every 9 touches? Did I make that up, or did I really read that?
That is true. I scored like we actually broke it down recently. It might have been like every 7 or so because I played a limited amount of snaps junior year due to injury. So when I came back, I think it was like 11 or 12 touchdowns and like on 68 carries, something like that. So it did average out to about once every 6 or 7 carries.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, I didn't mean to shortchange you there by 1 or 2. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. There's no doubt about that. So, but just want to go back and just kind of talk about your recruitment with the coaches. Just kind of walk through like when you started. You know, when you first got in contact with Coach Goebel, and like just walk me through the relationships that you've made with, Coach Goebel, maybe Coach Anai, if you've had a chance to meet him, Coach Doran. Just walk me through the conversations that you've had with those individuals.
All those guys I've had very great conversations with, especially Coach Goebel. Like Coach Goebel, as soon as he seen my film, he texted me on Twitter. And he was just like, I love you. I didn't find out about you until just now, but I promise you, I'll recruit you the hardest you've ever been recruited. And he stayed to his word. So he invited me up and I had the time to go. So I definitely went. When I went there, they treated me really good. Got to talk to Coach D. We've built a relationship between them as well. When I went to his office, he told me I was the guy for running backs. I was the guy that they wanted. So, of course that made me feel even better. And they had me talk to Coach N.A. And, he was just pretty much like, yeah, I think you'll fit. I think you fit the scheme really good. So I was like, all right, let's get to rocking.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned it was like you were made a priority. And I think there's no doubt from all of the things that I've read on your, just through your recruitment. And I think that's not to say that other teams didn't make you a priority, but I guess what was the difference between, maybe some of, and please don't name names or, schools or whatever, but just the difference that you felt like, okay, like this is the right fit, because like all these schools that you were being recruited, they have guys in the NFL, and you mentioned that was a big thing for you to get in the NFL. What was that one, and maybe it's not even one, but one thing that was like, yeah, no, this is home.
The people, like the coaching staff, they're very genuine. Like a lot of guys could tell you, oh yeah, you're our number one guy, you're a top guy, and don't really, they'll recruit you a certain type of way. They said I'm the guy, and they came after me in all cylinders of the way. So that's what really made me feel good about it. Coach D, he ended up coming by the school, and that really made me feel good about the situation as well. So those are the main things, like just the genuine, like feeling of the guys. Yeah. And they kind of fit everything I needed on a sense of like engineering. I think they're top 25 in computer engineering. Yeah. And they always compete for a conference title. So at least I know that I'm going to win.
Gotcha. And then, one of the first questions I wanted to ask you, because like I said, I had notes here. Duke, where does that come from?
So it's a birth name, nickname from my mom. It came from me when I was a child, like really young infant child. I don't know exactly where it comes from, but it came from her when I was an infant.
So when people address you, is it Jayden? Is it Duke? Is Duke only for like close friends and family? Is it for everybody? Like, what do you like being called?
It's interesting because like in a football sense, I love Duke, and a lot of people, they do call me Duke even outside. Like in high school, I'm known as Duke. But if you go down a little deeper, like elementary school, middle school, all my friends like from youth, they all call me Jayden.
Gotcha. All right. So you wouldn't be mad if someone, some NC State fan came up to you and said, "Hey, Duke, what's going on?"
Oh no, of course not. That would be.
No, that's cool. I love a good nickname, by the way, and a good nickname is one that you can't give yourself. So the fact that someone gave it to you, that's a solid nickname. But
yes, sir.
So one of the other things and that I saw in your in one of your Twitter videos was your power clean of 305. Like for real, you have like legs of tree trunks. Is that something that you take a lot of pride in? Is your lifting and your weight room time?
Yes, sir. Especially lower body. Like a lot of cleans, a lot of squats. I mean, of course, it's in relation. Like it's not overkill or anything like that.
Oh, for sure. No, I mean, you definitely need strong legs to be able to carry the ball, carry players with you, right? And then to cut.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, of course. Do you have a goal? Is that your high still, or have you beaten that?
I've hit 310, and it was really to get 315. I didn't hit 315 just yet, so I missed the 310 video, which sucks. And I've gotten my squat up to around 600. So
okay, all right. So speaking of that, did you have a chance to meet Coach Thunder during your visits?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Coach Thunder is a great guy. I love Coach Thunder.
We all love Coach Thunder. Now, did he say he's going to get you to where you want to be for your lifts?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He said, the Georgia connection. I think he's from Warner Robins or something, Macon.
Yep.
So he said, that Georgia connection is really going to get us right. And I said, I believe it. I believe it, Coach.
So that kind of goes back to that relationship thing that you were talking about, right? So you already have some interconnective relationships there. So
yes, sir.
So I think I'll throw one more question out before we wrap this video, this first episode. The first one, kind of getting to know you, and then the second one, we're gonna have a little bit of fun on that one. Kind of figure out some things that what makes you tick. But the one thing that you feel on a football field that you do best, and it can be like a physical thing, it can be a leadership thing. Like, what is one quality that you think above and beyond stands out?
Well, I think the best thing, of course I can run the ball, but I think the best thing I can do is give the credit to the O-line and keep them up in spirits. They get chewed out maybe by the quarterback, maybe by the receivers, like, oh, you didn't give us time to do that. But the one thing I make sure they always have the most love acknowledged. They're always acknowledged, whether it's a 10-yard run, 5-yard run, touchdown. They're always getting love. Guys are doing great up front. So that's really the main thing I do, make sure that they're uplifted in high spirits. Yeah,
and maybe throw them a free steak every now and then, right?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. All right, well, we'll pause there. We'll wrap on episode 1, and then we'll come right back. So NC State fans, don't miss our part 2 that will be coming up. But in the meantime, make sure you like and subscribe us on our channel. Hit the bell for notifications. We'll have all of Jayden's social media stuff in the description. So we make sure he gets his love out there on Instagram and Twitter. He's definitely a good follow. I've learned a lot just by checking out that. So, all right, Wolfpack Nation, stay tuned. We'll be back for episode 2. And as always, go Pack.